Hello everyone. In this tutorial I am going to explain how we are going to integrate MongoDB with the Sping Boot applications and perform different types of CRUD operations like create, read, update and delete operations. So basically, as you know, like previously I have already implemented CRUD operations using H2 databases and also explained some pagination kind of example with the MySQL database. So this is the project where basically I've implemented those uh, project for this one, like implementing the pagination kind of thing, how we are going to integrate CRUD operations using H2 database and in-memory database, and also how we are going to implement like JPA, other functionalities like and or greater than less than, those kind of complex, how we're going to write the JPQL queries, and how we're going to use MySQL database. So those kind of things already I explained in my last tutorial. So this is the one of the project that I've created for this, for demonstrating the JPQL and also with the CRUD operation. So this is a continuation actually topic, like how. So in this tutorial I'm going to explain how we are going to integrate this MongoDB uh, and how we are going to perform the CRUD operations with this one. So basically for that, if you are talked about the applications flow, the what will be the applications flow. So for that, basically we are going to create one applications where basically we are going to create some methods like get, post, put, delete. So those kind of APIs I'm going to create, and also I'm going to trying to fetch and update and delete and create also those things using the MongoDB. As you know, MongoDB is a document database with a scalability and flexibility that we can easily, like we can query and indexing that basically we need. So first of all, we need to set up the MongoDB. So for that, basically we need to install the MongoDB into our system. I will provide the link into the description, like from where we are going to download this MongoDB and how we are going to install this one. So once actually basically we are going to install this one, so then we are going to open this one. So let me show you from where we can download this MongoDB and how it will be look like. So basically from here, like this is the URL. So from here, as you can see over here, it's provide the different types of options for install the MongoDB based on your OS, what type of OS it is, like Linux, Mac, Windows, Docker. So once you will click on this, then it will go over here, and here basically MongoDB version is 7.0 community versions, and here it's provided all the methods like installations method, like how we are going to install this one. So after downloading, it will provide us the one exe, and then we need to follow some instruction so that it will install those things. So once the installation is done, then it will give us all the things like it will give us kind of Mongo, means this one compass. So this is the kind of, from here we can easily connect the URL. This is the port for this MongoDB. So once we connect this one, then it will look like something this one. So these are the basically default databases that basically it's MongoDB already provided. Okay, so these are the things basically we need to follow this instruction type, and once the installation is done, then we can easily open this MongoDB compass, and then we can do our create our database, and then we can also create the document base, all those things. Okay, so those kind of things we can easily do from there. As a technologies and tools, basically as you already know, but I'm again repeating this one. For this I am use this Sping Boot 3, and then like Spring Framework 6, MongoDB, JDK 17, Maven, and ID. As ID I'm using the Eclipse. Okay, so these are the things. So development steps for this one, like first of all, we need to create these Spring Boot applications. If you are not aware like how we are going to create these applications, so for that I've already like created the application one tutorial for this one, that like how you're going to create this one, create any applications. Then like in the POM file basically, so as you know from the Spring Boot initializer we can create the project, and in the POM file basically as I'm use the like MySQL, so for that basically this MySQL connector dependency is needed. But as I am going to use the MongoDB kind of MongoDB here, so that's why we need to use the MongoDB related jar. So for that we need to use this one. So Spring Boot starter, and then data MongoDB, this one. So this one basically dependency we need to use. Okay, and this MySQL is not needed now. Okay, version also we don't need. Okay, so dependency wise we are good now. Next basically we need to that configure over here the databases. If we are not created, then like Spring Boot applications automatically whenever we will start, then it will create those database. And like then like we need to create one entity or model. For that we are going to create the CRUD Operations, because already here basically previously we have already created like this product tables. So we need to little bit of modification needed over here. Basically in MongoDB it's a document based, so this kind of things is not provided, like generated valued identity, those kind of things. So I'll come to this portion later. So once this done, then we need to also create the repository and then controller, and then in the controller we need to expose the APIs as we have already done over here, like find all, then find all, find by ID, create, update, and then delete. We are going to just very simple so that it will be easy to understand without any confusion. Okay, because uh, we just need to understand the basic thing, like how we are going to integrate this one, then we can come over there for learning the complex things. Okay, basically Spring Boot already like auto configures most of the stuff for us, whatever the dependencies we have provided over here. Based on that it will automatically configure those things. And also as we have added this Spring Boot starter MongoDB dependencies over here, so Spring Boot like basically it will try to build a connection with the MongoDB by reading the database configurations file from the application properties file. So we need to modify this properties file over here, as these are the related to the MySQL. So instead of that we need to provide this for like MongoDB. So that is one thing. And also like we need to create the one database so that like we can connect those things. So let's create the database, and then let's do the coding for this one, update those things so that we can easily understand like how we are going to integrate with this MongoDB. Let's create those things. First of all, let's modify this properties file. So here basically you don't need all those things. What you need basically over here, let me comment out these things, like spring dot data dot mongodb dot URI. Here basically we need to provide the URI related to like MongoDB URL connections. So for that MongoDB slash localhost, as MongoDB is started in this port 27017, and then here basically we need to provide the database. So let's say like Spring Boot Mongo. Okay, just for timing. Okay, and also we need to comment this one. Okay, so this is, that means we need to create the database. So let's create database over here. So here basically we are going to create this database name. Here basically either we can create this one or collection name, create database. As you can see, the database is got created. Okay, we don't need this collection basically. Okay, so type this to drop this collection. Okay, if we not create the database, it is basically just I'm creating just for the timing test, else it will it's just temporary like one collections what we need to create, else it will not allow us to create the database. If we not create over here, then it will automatically create the data, means create this uh, like a database over here. So that means we have created the connections over here. Next basically we need to update the model. Okay, so as it is a like kind of document based, so that's why instead of entity or table, we need to provide it as @document. It's a document bit, so we need to use this document document. As you can see, the this is coming from the MongoDB Spring framework.data.mongodb.code.mapping package. Here basically we need to provide the name. Okay, so it's provide this collection equal to product. Okay, so we need to delete this one. Next is not supported this one generated value, so we need to also delete this one. Rest are fine. ID, name, description and price. Okay, okay, so this is done. Next basically in the repository, basically as you can see over in the product repository, we don't need this one, so let me comment out this one, all those things. And here basically we have used this JPA repository, so instead of that we need to use this Mongo repository. Okay, this is done now. So these are done now. Next basically in the service layer we have done some queries, so those will be keep as, means we need to keep those things as same. So for example, find all product create is fine. So here basically you don't need to do any kind of a change. Basically it will automatically taken care all those things. For the update also it will be same. Previously also is same. For find all product, I'll come into this later part. All this find all, then find all by this ID. For the time being we can keep this as we are not going to use this one, so I am commenting this one. Similar for this one also, for this also. Okay, so instead of that I'm going to create another method which will basically find, or which will do like find all the product. Okay, so basically I'm going to create one method over here like find all, and here basically it will call the default find all. Okay, in the controller also we need to follow the similar kind of pattern like find all, so we don't need this one. Instead of that going to find all. Okay, and it will also be a list of products instead of this. Okay, so this will also work. So for the timing I am also commenting this one, else this one. Okay, so these are done now. So what I did basically, I have used the like previous example in where basically I have explained how actually basically uh, like we have created the Spring Boot applications with MySQL database. So I have modified the existing applications. Here basically I have used the MongoDB now. As we know, like MongoDB is a document based, so that's why whatever the collections we are going to use over here, that will be similar to that. Like we need to use this annotate with document instead of entity or instead of table. And as it is not supported the automatically like generating the ID like generated column, so that's why I need to remove this one. So this is the only changes we need to do for this entity model level. In the service layer also, like there is a little bit of modification is required, but nothing more changes is required. So these are the things that we have done over here. And in the controller also little bit of modification is required here. In the properties file, mostly I have commented all the like whatever the properties file we need for this MySQL. So those are basically we don't need over here, as we are going to connecting with the MongoDB. So that's why MongoDB related URL we have modified over here. So these things we have done over here. So these are the things that we have modified over here. And in the POM file basically we have added the MongoDB like dependency instead of using the MySQL. Previously we are having the MySQL jar, but now instead of the MySQL we need to use this MongoDB. So these are the few changes we need to done over here. Now let's run this application. Okay, let's see if it is give us some exception or it will work fine. It should work. Okay, it is give us the exception, failed to configure the URL attribute embedded server. Okay, let me check why it is showing, because we have provided the URL over here, MongoDB URI spring.data.mongodb.uri mongodb slash localhost Spring Boot Mongo. So we have done over here as a dependencies. Also I've used this MongoDB. So why it is give us the exception? Let me check. The issue with this, I think, as we are going to use this Mongo, so for that basically we don't need this JPA over here. So we need to remove this one. So if we remove this one, then we'll get this exception. So we need to replace instead of Jakarta one. Yes, and also we need to remove this column. Okay, then it will basically work. Okay, so it should work now. Let's run this one. Yes, it's started now. Okay, now basically what we need to do, we need to create these applications, like create this database here, and also we need to create this this collection product. Okay, so let's create this one, create database, and collection name is product. Okay, so we need to create this one, so it will create the database for us. So currently we don't have any data over here. Now basically for like this we are going to like create this product. Okay, we need to insert this one. So for that, basically if we see, then here basically in the controller, so we are going to perform some kind of the CRUD operations. So we have ready the applications and also created the Mongo database. Now first of all we need to create the insert some product so that we can fetch those things and also update those things, right? So we are having this create API which basically save the data into the database. So what it will do, it will basically take the inputs from over here, like as you can see over, it's a post mapping, and so it will basically take the input as a this DTO like ID, name and description, price, and then basically it will save the data into this product table. So for that, this is the like API and create, this is the post mapping and this is the input. Okay, so for example ID is 1, name is mobile, this is the test and this is the price. So if we send this one, then it will give us the 200 success response, and also we are getting the response using this. Now if we see over here, initially it was empty, but now see if we find this one, so as you can see we can get this data over here. ID is 1, so this data basically we have passed from the postman. Now suppose if we try to put some another ID like 2, then it will also, we are getting the 200 success. Now if we find this one, then we can get this 2 product is already inserted over here. So similar kind of we can also insert some more records over here like 3 and then 4, so that we have inserted 4 records over here for just to demonstrating this one. Now if we see this one, so it will give us a 4 response over here. Okay, now suppose, so that means create is working. Now suppose if we try to find all, so what it will give us, it will give us basically return us all the records. Okay, as you can see it will give us return us all the 1 2 3 4 all the products. Okay, so here basically if we see the find all, this will fetch all the records. As you can see, this will find all the like records from the database and return all the list of product, and it accordingly it will display all the things over here. Another approach to like only using the ID also you can fetch like find by ID. So suppose if we are passing the ID is 2, then it will give us only 2 the product details which having the ID is 2. Instead of 2, if we are passing 1, then it will return us the product details with which is having the ID is 1. Now suppose if in the put method we are basically like update the data. So suppose now if we see the ID is 2 and the description is test mobile demo. Okay, so instead of that, if we are going to update this one for this one, so mobile, and from the test mobile product we are going to update with update mobile product. Let's see what it will do. It will give us the success. Now if we find this one, as you can see, this is the updated. So what we have done here, the ID is 1 and we have updated the description. From the previously it was the test mobile product, now it is a update mobile product. So accordingly it will update the description for the product ID 1. Okay, so as you can see it will successfully update this data. And another thing is to like delete the data. If we are going to delete any data from the database, so how we are going to do that? For that we need to pass this delete one. So the applications the controller API path is to for the update basically we have used this put mapping, and for delete mapping we have used this delete mapping, and here basically we are passing this path. So what it will do, it will basically delete this product from the database which is having this only ID. If this ID is not available, then it will give us this product not available, something like this. So suppose if we are going to delete this product ID 1, so let's delete this one, and we are getting this 200. Now we are not getting this ID 1 into the database. So let's find out this one. As you can see, only 2 3 and 4, these 3 are available. Okay, one is not available because this one ID product we have deleted from the database. Now if we see the ID which is basically not available into the database, then in this particular scenario it will return the product not available exception. So let's see, it will give us this product not available exception. So from the basically from the log, like here we can see, we can check also that product not available exception. As you can see, the product not available for this ID. So in this way basically we can perform the CRUD operations. As you can see, it's a very easy. As you know, already I have created this product for demonstrating some other applications like CRUD applications using the in-memory database with H2, some JPQL queries demonstrations, complex JPQL using these applications, and now I have like integrated with the MongoDB, and so that we can easily perform the like CRUD operations. As you can see, we have easily integrated. What we followed first, we need to create the project with the from the Sping Boot initializer, and then basically we need to create the service layer, then controller, then like repository, and then model. And accordingly, once we have created all those things, then like and also the one more important point is to, like, in the properties file we need to define the MongoDB path for connecting with the like MongoDB, and also we need to install the MongoDB into our local so that we can like basically connect with this MongoDB database, right? So this is also important, and also we need to create the like collections over here. So these are the few things we need to follow, just basic few things, so that we can like easily uh, like integrated with this MongoDB. It's a very not a complex one. So that's all for this tutorial. That's for all this session for today's. Uh, if you guys have anything related to this, please let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.